Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name's Robert with Bravery Basket Food Pantry. Coming right here in Box Elder. Bravery Basket Food Pantry is going to be a food pantry for our military, our veterans, and their families right here in the local area. And then also, when we have the resources, we're going to open it up to the general population there for Box Elder who are food insecure. But part of opening up Bravery Basket Food Pantry, we need business sponsors and local sponsors and everything. And part of our sponsorship and part of what we're doing is our 40-cent meals program or our 40-cent kids meals program. Both are part of Bravery Basket Food Pantry initiative. Folks, when school lets out, hunger moves in, and this is the South Dakota story on how Bravery Basket is here to change that. With our 40-cent meal program, these meals will be going out across the state and anywhere that is needed for food banks and food pantries. So thank you for joining me here in my presentation today, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. For many, summer signals freedom. Kids get to get out and go to summer camps and vacation Bible school, get to hang out with their friends, maybe get off to grandma and grandpa's aunt and uncle's house for the summer. But for some of the kids here in South Dakota, summertime is just agony because they don't know where their next meal is coming from. It starts that summer gap of, oh, breakfast and lunch is no longer served. The invisible crisis here in our heartland is that every day we have 113 plus thousand people who wake up who are food insecure. They don't know where the next meal's coming from in that day. 1 in 5 of those are children. So roughly 22 to 23,000 children every day wake up not knowing where their next meal is coming from. And hunger, it doesn't look like just the homeless people out on the street corner. Absolutely, they're food insecure. But it looks like the TSA workers who just miss paychecks. It looks like the mom who has the van with lots of miles on it, who takes her kids everywhere that the van broke down and now they've got a car payment. I mean, they've got to repair the car. That's 3 times the cost of a car payment. Maybe one of the kids had a medical emergency, broke their arm during soccer practice, fell off the high beam in the gym. So 113,000 people just don't know where their next meal is coming from. And that meal gap is all across South Dakota. Anywhere from 8.5% food insecurity over there in Bookings to almost 30% in Oglala Nation, right below Rapid City here on the tribes down there um, on the reservations. And part of that is limited transportation. Getting off the reservations if you don't have a car is very hard. There's services out there who ride around and look for broken down vehicles that are nonprofits. Low wages, seasonal workers, they're just not getting paid what they need to put a healthy, nutritious fruit and vegetable meal on the table. And chronic unemployment makes for food insecurities really tough if you have a hard time staying employed, whether the companies are closing up or you're just a hard person to employ. For mental health reasons, this can be a many of things: physical, health, medical. So the economics of the impossible choices is just crazy, folks. You got your basic survival needs, your rent, fuel, medical. Then you got your food budget, fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meat, or you got to buy your prescription meds, or you got to pay for this or that. So now you're getting low nutritious meals. Hardworking families stretch every dollar, and man, they're still falling short every day. When school is out, though, that safety net really disappears for our kids. Like I said, summer's traditionally fun, but without that daily resilience of school's nutritional programs, families immediately feel that strain. The need doesn't pause just because the classroom doors do. So June, July, August till school opens back up again from when it closes to opens. Kids are missing out on the two most important meals of the day, breakfast and lunch. With our 114,000 people every day who are food insecure, that comes out to a $75 million budget shortfall across South Dakota. The average cost of a meal here in South Dakota is $3.51. And all these numbers come right off of Feeding America, Feeding South Dakota. You can look all this up right there. The rising high costs and the choices of choosing cheap calories. Limited budgets at $3.51 a meal makes it very cost ineffective for people who are on limited budgets to buy those fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. So what happens is they start purchasing those cheaper, low nutrient food that are high in sodium and full of words that a guy like me just can't read, man. I'm not an English major. So those big, long, fancy scientific words, I can't read them. It's okay though. I know how to read apples, oranges, and fruits and vegetables, this many sugar and salt. But those health impacts, they're a lifetime. A lifetime, folks. Children struggle to focus in school, so that if they're having a hard time learning, that's a lifetime impact. Adults, and children are facing chronic illnesses and health issues and mental health problems due to the food, and all the medicines we've got them on. So what happens out of all of this when they're getting low, cheap, nutrient dense food? We're killing our poverty level. So a limited budget at $3.51 a meal is just way too high when you're on a limited budget. But Bravery Basket, we're here to help out with that. At $3.51 a meal for here in South Dakota, and those people who are on limited budgets, we got our 40-cent meal program. Yep, folks, for 40 cents, we can pack nutritious, nutrient packed, and protein packed meals for just 40 cents a meal. 40-cent kids meal program fills that void. To support families during these critical months, Bravery Basket is launching our targeted summer feeding initiatives. We operate on one simple truth: every child deserves a full belly, even when school's out. So some small coins can add up to big changes, folks. It started with a visit there to visit my grandkids over there in Missouri. My grandkids, I was visiting them and they said, "Hey, Grandpa, we're going up over here to school for an hour." "Yeah, what do you got going?" "We're doing meal packing for people who are in the area who have a need for food, who can't afford to buy it at the store." "Oh, really? What do you, come on, let's go. I want to see what you're doing." So we headed up there to the meal packing event, and I had it right there in the cafeteria in a big room, easy to clean. And inside of there were tables. They were lined with all the packing ingredients. The kids had their hairnets on and they were laughing and measuring and scooping. And then they were sealing up the boxes, getting ready to take them off to the other food pantries and the school pantries around and off to wherever those meals were going to. And I was just watching those kids work, and I looked at my daughter and said, "Wow, this is amazing. Bravery Basket needs something like this." So watching those kids changed everything. They weren't just packing food, they were packing hope. They were feeding hope. They were putting smiles on families' faces to get these meals for absolutely free. So if children can help feed the world, why aren't we making it easier for everyone to do the same? That was a light bulb moment, folks. Bloop. 40 cents. That's all it takes to put a nutritious meal right into the hands of a child or an adult who might otherwise go hungry. The true founders and the kids, for Bravery Basket to be my grandkids, they're the true founders here. They're born to putting this 40-cent kids meal together because they invited me along. And 40-cent kids meals was born. And the mission is to make it possible for everyone to feed children, one small donation at a time. We're focusing on 2 meals this summer for our kids' meals program. One is our deluxe macaroni and cheese, and our other is apple cinnamon oatmeal. We get these ingredients in bulk, and then we pack them into 6 meals in each package, and they go out with zero waste. The deluxe macaroni and cheese and the apple cinnamon and oatmeal, both of those include an added plant-based protein for sustained energy and a warm feeling and comfort start to the day with our apple and cinnamon oatmeal. And both of those are packed with vitamins and minerals. So big change doesn't require a big heart and a large bank account. It requires, I messed that up. Big change doesn't require a big heart. It doesn't require big money. It requires a big heart. So, hey, we all make mistakes once in a while. Thank you. But coming soon here, as soon as we get our food pantry open, folks, we're going to have the food pantry on one side there for everybody, for our military, our veterans, and those that need to be able to come through and get a good meal can. On the other side there, we're going to have our packing center. Folks, we'll be able to accommodate up to 50 to 100 people there in our packing center to pack meals. And 50 people in 1 hour can pack 10,000 meals. 90 minutes can pack 20,000 meals, folks. Just think about that. 50 people, 1 hour, 10,000 meals. 10 people can pack 2,000 meals in an hour. So soon these rooms are going to start filling up with volunteers and the meals will start getting processed and getting out on the shelves. But folks, we need your help right now, your financial support to make it happen. Simple 40-cent donations. The impact at home, families will start to feel the relief. Kids will go to bed with full stomachs. And children can actually start learning and start eating healthy, nutritious meals. At school, teachers will be glad to see the focus and the learning and the knowledge return to the room. The kids raising their hands and want to volunteer because they're not thinking about where their next meal is coming from. Nutrition empowers education, folks. So let's help feed those kids. It's more than just a meal when you donate that 40 cents per meal. It's the future. It's the future of our children. Hunger is happening right here in our schools, in our neighborhoods. Feeding South Dakota, the backpack program serviced 3 to 4,000 kids right here in Rapid City last year. The backpack meal program put out 188,000 plus backpacks to kids who are enrolled in the backpack program from elementary to high school. So together, folks, we can make sure that every child has the nutrition they need to grow, learn, and thrive, even when school is out. So when school's out, summer doesn't take a break. The 40-cent solution for South Dakota is here to help feed our kids. As I said, folks, to recap, 1 in 5 of our kids of the 114,000 people are children, 22 to 23,000 kids a day. There's a 75 million budget deficit in the needs for a basic need for food here. And summer is the hardest time for those families who are in need. So our nutritious shelf-stable meals for just 40 cents, folks, is the answer. It helps provide nutritious, protein-packed meals for kids. $40 feeds 100 children. $400 feeds 1,000 kids. And your generous donation of $4,000, 501c3 tax deductible, feeds 10,000 children, folks. This is not designed for immediate community impact. When the money comes in, we're going to get these packing tables set up and get ready to go and get these meals go out as soon as they're packed. So when we hold a packing session this weekend and we pack how many ever thousands of meals, they'll be in feeding South Dakota the following Monday, Tuesday. Thank you very much, everybody, for checking out my presentation here, because sometimes 40 cents is all it takes to change a child's world. Join the movement, folks. 40centmeals.org. Bravery Basket Food Pantry right here in Box Elder, South Dakota. Join our 40 cent meals per kids program. Google 40 cent kids meals. 40centmeals.org. It's a Zeffy page it's going to take you to. Thank you very much and have a great day.